So how do we create templates and add templates? So you'll notice that for now, in our view, we are returning a HTTP response. But how about when you want to return, say, a full HTML page? You want to return your website or stuff like that. How do you do this? So that's where templates comes in. So let's work on templates. So inside of our students app here, let's create a folder called templates. So templates, like so. Hit enter. To create it, it has to be templates because this is where Django will come and look for a template when we include a template. Now inside of here, we want to create a new file. We can just call it base.html, like so. And then inside of here, we want to add in some HTML boilerplate. So usually when I do the HTML, it should work, but because we are using Django, it's giving me some headache. So I'll just come and do a shortcut here to get a boilerplate and close this off. All right, and paste it inside of here. So this is basically a HTML page that you already know. So we could just change this to blog. Let's not use blog. So students app, like so. Eventually we'll just be creating a student record. That's just it. Okay, and then inside of here we want to say students app content, like so, and save it. Okay, now back in the view, recall that initially we were using a HTTP response. Okay, we don't want to use a response like that. So what we want to do this time around instead is to render a page. So inside of this render function, which we have imported at the top here, we want to enter the request. Okay, so request, and then the other option here would be to put in the HTML file that we have created, HTML, like so, and save it. So now that I've saved it, let's go back and then do a refresh. It's telling us that template does not exist at. So what could be the problem is because we've not added this app to our settings. All right. So when we add the app to our settings, it now makes it visible, and so we can now use the templates like that. So let's add students underscore app, like that, and save it. So once we save it and go back and refresh, we should now have our student app content, and everything is showing as it should be. So right here, we've been able to check out two more boxes, that is creating and adding templates, and then adding this template actually to our application, kind of. All right. Now there is something else about templates that is cool, I let you know about. Now it's even very good that it's called template now, because it could be used as a template for other templates like that. So let's come back here. So let's say you want to create, say, 5-10 HTML pages. Now all of them would have similar attributes. For example, all of them have title, all of them have content, and things like that. So what do you do in a case like that? That's when variables come into play. So let's see how variables work here. So for us to do that, we need to come here and create something like a block. Okay, there's an open block and a closed block, or a start block and an end block. So I'll just use a shortcut here and then explain. So this is the block, and there's a block and end block. Okay, now inside of the open block, you open curly braces and then add the percentage sign at both ends. You also do that for an end block, and that's all you have in the end block. However, for the open block here, which is just block, you need to put in the name of that block. So the name of that block, we want it to be title. However, when you are able to create this like this, and then do the same thing for the content that's supposed to be on the page. So let's try it, block and content. So just say this block is going to be content. Now you could put like a, well, let's say fallback. So for example, we could say this is students, like this, students, and then here we could say students content, like this, just a fallback like that. But aside from this, our main focus is using the content. So when we save this and go back to our application and do like a refresh, you see that it now has only the fallback because we have not used it somewhere else. So we want to now change, and let's say create a new file and say this time around this is home.html, like that, and then we want to now use the content from our base file. So for you to do that, you need to do what we call extends. So it just follows the same procedure, always open and close curly braces, then put in the keyword, which is extend, and then which file are we extending? We're extending the base file, like that. So once you extend the base file and save it, it's as though you have inherited everything here. Now for you to now view it, we need to change this to home, save it, and then when we come back here, we should still have the same thing. But if we want to now make sure that what the content is different, we can now, use the block, all right, the way it should be. So same thing, we do the same block, and inside of the block, we say this is supposed to be title, and then we announce a student home like this. And then one more thing is going to be the content one. So I'm always using a shortcut, just to be faster, and we say this should be content, and then student content like that. So, but let's change it from student content so it's actually changed. So let's say student home content like that. Save that and then return back to our page, refresh, and see that the content changes because we've updated it. And that's what you really need to know about templates. All right.